Hello, 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 and welcome back to SeeNoBounds Live. And this time we are squeezed onto the little sofas here at Sam Jayne's.
Very cozy.
It is very cozy. So, Charlott, what are we on about today?
Today we're at the HQ of Samantha Jayne's, and Lou is here as well. And we're going to talk about what happens here. There's loads going on. I've been part of lots of it, really enjoying it. Reiki baths, there's retreats, there's goodie bags. You should see them. Lots. So we're going to start with you, Sam. So how did the HQ come about, first of all? What made you decide to take on these beautiful
HQ, as I affectionately call it here in Upcott, is actually when we went into, you won't go back a bit, when we went into the first lockdown, I actually lost everything because I'd recently taken premises and I lost absolutely everything. So I had to do a rebuild. So when we came out of the first one, I realised I just didn't want to only work online. Although I love time alone, I need people in my life as well, and that people need people. So even though I only had 2 clients, I came in and I took commercial premises. I signed a lease. Big brave moment. Yeah,
It kind of progressed as well, didn't it? Because you only took on some of this building.
Yeah, we had to expand and expand. Yeah.
So what was the first bit? Just that bit?
It was just these 2 bits here, and then I expanded into those 2 parts.
That's right, yeah. Because I can remember when it was only these 3.
Yeah, over time we've doubled the size.
So basically, she just keeps knocking water. Someone moves out, she knocks water.
Jump in your grave.
I'm not asking about
it.
It does
Make you, because we took on an office after lockdown.
Yeah.
Purely because I just couldn't work at home just with my husband anymore. I needed more people. I could imagine. It does make you focus, doesn't it?
I don't need to be here. I get to get up and walk away.
So coming back,
Yeah.
when did Lou come here and join you? Because that's been fantastic
It
relationship.
has, thank God. She has a hoodie that says personal angel from the PA, because it's just been, she's been a godsend to me, because everything she deals with used to just sit in the brain, and it's, because we constantly put on events here and in other venues, because everything is about healing and coaching. So Lou has her own business as well. So she coaches and heals around weight loss and addiction. So it works beautifully together. And then basically we joke, I'm the boss, but she's in charge. So basically it's just, we're kind of like an events company, really, truthfully.
Yeah.
But the events that we do happen to be coaching and healing, and we just love it.
So let's go back to retreats, because you've got a retreat coming up.
Yeah.
And there's so much to plan. Like my background is events and hospitality, as you know, and I love it. And absolutely love it. So I'm going to come over to Lou. What's your top tip when you're sort of planning an event? Where should people start?
So I think people are very quick to first of all look at venues and dates, which is obviously, something that you need, but then it's all the little things that people forget about. So the things that we're looking at or have been looking at, we're now in the final stages, getting ready for our retreat. So it's coordinating guests if they're sharing rooms, it's coordinating food allergies, and also determining if we're looking at allergies or preferences, because we've hired a personal chef. So we need to make sure that we're taking all of that into account as well. Goodie bags to make sure that we've got enough of everything. And when you're trying to prepare goodie bags for around 20 people, and trying to get 20 of everything can be a challenge in it.
Yeah. I can imagine. So, because it's getting everything to match as well. So and on brand.
Yeah. So we're quite fortunate. We've got a local company that we use for our branding for t-shirts and bags and things like that. So try and support a local business as much as we can. So we hire a singer who is also local, so to bring to the event. So it's just trying to accommodate for everyone.
It's going to be fun.
So how challenging is it having to bring Sam in? I could imagine she takes a fair amount of work.
She does. I just tell her where she needs to be and when.
I kind of know that feeling.
We have the yellow wall in the office where we just cover it in the world's biggest post-it note.
Yeah.
And I just tactfully remind her every now and then, have you done this? And she'll be like, what? No, yeah. But that's my job. That's my job, is to support Sam so that she can get on with her healing and her coaching, and I'll take care of the stuff behind the scenes for her to keep it running smoothly.
It must be exhausting because
Working with Sam.
you need somebody.
I totally agree with that.
I was coming on to must be sort of that to retreat you were at. And I could see you that night because you give everything.
Thank you.
You just give absolutely everything to each individual that is there.
Yeah.
And you're taking on all those energies. How do you cope with that after?
Because when I'm actually in my zone, I'm channeling most of it. So I'm very, very open energetic. I have to put a lot of things in place. So for example, this is a 4-day retreat that Liz been talking about that we're sorting out at the moment. So basically I have a team, and when I get there, the number one thing I say to my team unless it's about healing or coaching, I don't want to know. That's what the team are for. And then so that I then can go off and disappear and do my own grounding, my own eating, sleeping, drinking water, because I have to create pockets of time for myself.
Yeah.
Admittedly, on my big annual one, at that time, often it takes place in a hot tub. But hey, just because I'm a healer, I shouldn't suffer. But it's just, it's knowing you have to work with your flow, and then I have to allocate in time off before it, because the day before my energy will be building and I will be like something on speed. And then the day afterwards, I'll be like that. And then the day after that, I'll go bam. And I have to allocate that in my diary so that I give myself the space to re-energize and come back in the room.
That I get. And
Yeah.
not many people think that, because as a speaker, someone that goes on stage, it's performance.
Yeah.
And the day after, I'm absolutely beat.
Yeah.
And people just think that, well, you're only on there for an hour. It's not. It's
No.
the time before, it's the build up, it's
Yeah.
the travel, it's
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, you're just done.
Yeah.
And especially if you've got a couple in a week, where I sometimes have
Absolutely.
3 or 4 in the same week,
Yeah.
and you just go,
Because you're pumped for the
Yeah.
duration. I will basically be pumped. So if I'm doing a 4-day retreat, I'm going to be pumped for 7 days.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
the energies and everything.
Yeah.
And then that's what it comes in.
It's all coming.
And that's when you start planning the next one, right?
This is the year in the making every time.
Yeah.
It is a year in the making every time. We
Yeah.
do at HQ every now and then. Sam, because of how Sam works with her channeling, it'll be right, this is what we're doing, and the next thing you know, 20 minutes later it's live, and 3 days later it's sold out. Because that's, and that's one of the nice things of working at HQ, is it just all flows. It keeps us both on our toes.
Yeah.
I think it's
Makes it exciting as well.
It does. There's always something else, and there's always people. You see the shifts in people over the retreats, and when they come into HQ, and it's just that's
So
what
going back then, you lost it all, and you had 2 clients coming in here. Now you've got a personal angel.
Yeah.
And you were just saying that you sell out in 3 days.
Yeah.
So people are going to listen in and go, wow, I've had my events on all different platforms and I get 2 people. So what would your advice be? Where would that come in?
well, shouldn't start for a start.
No.
And that's the big one. Like, that's not even criticism, by the way. Like, Sam puts it out there, and it is out there for like everybody to see. But she is then like harassing the internet in order to get people on.
In a good way.
Look, and I've said it like that. You have to.
Yeah.
So many people put events out, right? And then they go, "Well, it's out." And we run an events board, right?
That's
So
arrogance.
yeah,
That's an arrogance.
they put it out. They don't do anything, and ignorance as well. I think.
Arrogance and ignorance.
They put it out, and then they'll put one post out on Facebook and expect it to sell out. It just doesn't.
Absolutely.
We run 16 events, 16, 17 events a month, and we are on it, poking, prodding, I say we, by the way, it's a rule. But it's still, it has to happen. And that's how we get the levels of the numbers. And that's how you set out.
Yeah, and that's what, so obviously that comes over to you as a PA.
Yeah.
So what do you need to do in terms of, obviously it sounds content? all
Yeah,
that kind of
so
stuff.
with
What do
these
you
kind
do?
of events, where we're very fortunate, Sam really knows her audience, knows what events will appeal to people. So we'll approach those people first and give them priority access if they've attended something similar beforehand, before even releasing it. But it's just, a lot of it's to do with timing as well with the events, making sure that's right as well. So it's just with Sam knowing who our regulars are. So a mediumship platform demo that Sam did, we know who's attended before, who's shown interest before, so we can go to those people straight away before we've even gone public. And that's where the events sell quite quickly for us.
Yeah, it's different, but it is, like you said, it's the consistency as well.
Yeah,
And you are consistently out there doing
Yeah.
lives, you know, TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook,
Yeah.
all of the different channels, because I think people often forget that.
Yeah, we've got events every month.
Yeah.
Every month, there's a lot on every month.
Yeah.
So it's not, you know, it's not a
Every
case of Sam
week.
vanishing and then coming back.
Yeah.
There's something happening all the time.
Yeah, and it's, I think the other thing that people forget when they do retreats and events is that they do that, they build up for that, and then they go quiet for 3 months.
Yeah.
And then
You can't do
and
that.
you can't do that.
We literally will be, as we leave, say the 4-day event, the big one I do, in the car on the way home to have an events manager as well, who runs the event as well on the weekend. And she does the venue side, whereas Lou deals with people side. So I have a team of 2 on that and a chef. We will literally be in the car and the event manager will have her laptop open and I'll be going, right, the next one we we need to do this, we need to do this, we need to do this, and I'm being shown this, and I'm being shown that. So I already know that the next one is by water. I know. You know, and it's like we're already in the next event before because I joke that the neighbours here must think I work on the stock exchange. So I'm sure all the accountants, a lot of old school, beautiful but old school accountants in the buildings around us, and we must just be like, well, aliens that I like that.
But it's about creating that promo, isn't it? And creating, go when the juices are flowing and everything, everyone has had a great time. That's when you've got to sell the next one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With some of the events as well, although going big for events is always a good thing, sometimes it's bringing them back so they're more intimate.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, you've got both of those aspects in place because that's when people really
I like it in the big events, but I really like it in the small ones as well.
Absolutely.
And you get different, and you get as a you get different energy out of each one as well. And I say that, but I think you get more out of it as well. You get different kind of balance out of each one. Right, we have to end the show because otherwise I won't stop these gassing on, right? So I'm going to ask a single question because I haven't asked hardly any questions, which is very rare for me. But I'm going to ask you a question. If you had one top tip, both of you, one each, again, of setting up and running an event, what would that top tip be? Luba, you first.
Plan big post-it notes.
Big post-it notes. So.
Me, pay attention to what your clients need, not what you fancy doing necessarily.
Yeah.
But what do your clients actually need? How can you serve your clients well?
Perfect. And that's it.
I've got a top tip that I've got to get
in.
One of the things that I think is so important is that you give something for people to take away. We had a handmade chocolate at an event I was at, and that went totally viral online, which is a great thing. So it's something that they can photograph, something that they can take away, because that would be the last thing that they will remember.
Chocolate. And that's all we have time for. Until next time, we'll see you again soon. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.